Everybody, welcome to the National Real Estate Post, the Interview Daily on the National Real Estate Post. Here again with Kimber White, President of the National Association of Mortgage Brokers. How are you, Kimber?
Good. How are you today, Frank?
I'm doing great. Before we get started, just remind you guys, if you're interested in getting started with reverse mortgages, Liberty Reverse Mortgage can help you from start to finish. I mean, from as simple as just referring them a reverse mortgage and you get paid on it, to as high up as you're drawing the docs and funding the deal and they're buying it, whatever, and anything in between. They've got all levels of participation, but they have all the training, all the marketing materials, everything you need to get started in reverse mortgage. Just click the Liberty Reverse Mortgage banner you see on your screen right below the video or over on your right, and someone will get back to you and help you get started with that. So let's get started, Kimber. So we've got MBA and others, coming out right now. But this is what we got. We got a resurgence in shutdowns, a resurgence in the pandemic. More states are shutting down. California's shutting down. Other states are shutting down. At the same time, all the news that we're getting is it's going to be a banner 2021 for mortgages, and it's going to be amazing for real estate. It's like the world's coming to an end for most people, but for as far as mortgage and real estate is concerned, it's the greatest time ever. So we've got all that going on. We'll talk about that in a minute here, but there's some other news, and NAMB, of course, you have your finger on the pulse of this one that we wanted to talk about, and that is the FHFA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, right? And they're getting pulled out of conservatorship. What's the story there right now?
You saw it came out there. Calabria is wanting full steam ahead, wanting to try to come out of conservatorship, because I think people know if they don't get out by the 20th of January, it's going to be slowed down. If it happens at all, it's going to be slow walked, and it's not a priority of the Biden administration. But when you look at what they're at, they've only got half of what they're saying that they need to actually come out of conservatorship and to be there. I don't see how that they're going to be, with the pandemic, with the stuff they're dealing with, I don't see how they're going to be pulling it off to come out of conservatorship before the 20th of January. I really can't see it happening. I think NAMB doesn't see that happening. We think that it's going to happen under a Biden administration, but it's going to be slow walked. It's not going to be a priority. And I think that you're going to see that because of the COVID and everything, there's going to be a push not to raise GSEs, not to raise this type of capital and this type of an economy. Yeah. And there's going to be a consumer push. As we know, the Biden administration, no matter who gets in, is a consumer-oriented consumer push. So I think this is going to be a slow walk and not a hard push to get out under a Biden administration. And I don't see it happening before, and I don't think NAMB can see it happen before January 20th.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's a good thing for many reasons, the ones that you described, of course. But also just, a big change like that would certainly disrupt, confidence in things, which could disrupt the interest rate environment. It could be kind of a big blow, maybe catastrophic, especially trying to get it done so fast. I don't know. So, well,
one of the other things that amazed me, we all remember the adverse market fee because of all the defaults that was going to happen.
Right.
Did you see the report last month that came out and the report this month? Defaults are one of the lowest. Their default rate is not there. It didn't happen. But that half a point is going to be there. And this is the things we have to be careful of. And that's the reason I think this rush to getting it out, at what expense and on whose back, during, again, a pandemic time. I think that's why we need to breathe. And in my opinion, we slow it down. Nothing's hurting to get out of conservatorship right now. It does need to be done eventually. But you know what? We all know what happens when we rush decisions.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to all this great news about how awesome 2021 is going to be for the mortgage and real estate industry. And you and I were chatting before we hit the record button here, and it's pretty interesting because there's a group of people that's really getting left behind in all this. And do you want to take it a little bit here, and then I'll put in my 2 cents?
Yeah, I will. We've seen the greatest market, and we've all seen it, refinance purchase market that we've ever had. And they're saying there's going to be a banner purchase market. This refinance market will slow down a little bit. But what's happening is the upperly mobile middle class, the people who have the tech jobs, that have the online jobs, that have those jobs, they're the people that are getting to be able to move. They can move from California. They can move from New York. They can be mobile. They can work anywhere in the United States that they want to. But the people that's being left behind that we're not talking about is already the ones with the wealth, income, and quality gap, is the average working class citizen who's already used their money through COVID to live, who's already taken what they can take to make it, are getting laid off from their jobs, our shutdown is not allowing them to happen, our tourism isn't happening like it is in Florida, even though our governor doesn't allow, has not shut things down, we still don't have people coming. Those are the people that's being left out. What's going to happen to them if we have another phase 3 or whatever we're calling it, shutdown? And what happens to them when we come out? Where are we at? It's great that we are making money and we're doing everything, but those people are being left behind even more. We already have that income inequality gap. It's getting wider through this.
It is, and I think what proves this point is recently we had NAR come out and say, hey, the median home price across the country is going up. And we explained this on a previous show. What that means, guys, is that the more expensive homes are outselling now the less expensive homes, which is pulling up the median sales price. And what that's saying is just what Kimber said, is your more affluent individuals, your upper middle class people who COVID simply isn't really affecting as far as their employment is concerned. Those people are enjoying all this real estate stuff. They're enjoying the low rates. They're buying homes. You know what I mean? They're selling their homes and moving to other places. And so that's what's causing this median sales price to go up. And so, yeah, this is going to be a problem because we've got a very large group of people who are being left behind, who aren't enjoying all this, the great things that are happening in real estate with low rates and appreciation, et cetera. Well, they own a house, they're certainly enjoying appreciation, but they might be in a position where they got to sell their house and
right,
do something with that equity. But that's what's really going on. So I'm just wondering how the new administration, when they get in, how they're going to be able to help those people.
Well, I think when I'm seeing that, when you're looking, first-time home buyer programs and the assistance and the first-time home buyer, it's dwindling. County grants, state grants, they're dwindling because guess what's happening in that money? That money is being used to pay rents. That money is being used for people to pay for their behind mortgages. So I think, number one, the new administration's already looked at 15,000, which I think that, we think that NAMB, they're not going to get 15, they probably have to compromise for less, to the first-time home buyer. If we remember $8,000 to buy a home during the Obama administration, if we remember when that happened, that'll help. We have to also look at more programs, and with Fannie and Freddie, which NAMB is doing. We're talking about part of our Fair Housing Committee that we have, which just came along through this whole thing, is to make sure that we have available programs, and we are actually giving hand-ups and have, FHFA did away, kind of got rid of the subsidy for out in suburbia. We don't need it. We don't want housing projects next to us. Well, that's actually not what that program was for. It wasn't about housing projects that they're talking about. It was workforce housing. It was people, the average working class citizen, to work. It got played that it was for something else. It was for developments in neighborhoods and projects. That's not what it was about. It was workforce housing for that working class citizen and the people that's being left behind. That's one of the things I think the new administration is going to have a challenge with. They're going to work with. I think it's going to be more consumer-based, but it's going to be tough. And I think that is something, as an industry as a whole, in the mortgage industry, we have to be realizing that the upper echelon, upper middle class, that's great, they're driving us now. But our bread and butter, and especially in most of America, is not that. I'm in Florida. I'm a $400,000 home. But most of America is not that. Most of America is that working class person that drives. So there are still people in our industry, in towns and in communities, that aren't doing banner years in real estate and mortgages because they are in rural working class America, where I come from originally, North Carolina. We have to make sure we're bridging that gap in the industry, and I think NAMB's doing it through there. NAMB's working with that. I think we're going to have to work with the administration. We're going to have to work with the CFPB to make sure we have consumer regulation. We have things fair for the broker. We have to understand the world isn't totally great for everyone, and we have to make sure we're not leaving everyone behind.
Kimber White, president of the National Association of Mortgage Brokers, NAMB, intervening and stepping in to help out. Really appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys do.
Thank you.
There's a banner down below, you guys, if you want to click and go over to NAMB. Anyone can join NAMB. You don't have to be a mortgage broker. It's NAMB for all, but NAMB is on the front lines, on the Hill, working to have your voice heard as a mortgage and real estate professional to make sure that, you know, the government is aware of what's going on from a street level so they can make proper decisions. So appreciate all you do. Guys, do us a favor, leave us your...
Thanks, Ray.
You bet. Thanks, Kimber. Leave your comments down below, guys. Forward, share, subscribe, and you can get our mobile app by doing this.
Download the National Real Estate Post mobile app today. Available on Apple Store and Google Play. Just search National Real Estate Post.